Hi guys, welcome to this week's Sunday Morning Minutes. I'm glad to be with you. It is April the 25th, just about into May. It's amazing. Year's been going by quickly, and I guess that's probably a very good thing. Last week, unfortunately, as you can see, I was not able, I should say, to record this week's version of Sunday Morning Minutes, but I was very happy to be able to at least put out a post and talk about it and some content from the Experience, which is the largest trade show in the cleaning and restoration industry. It was absolutely incredible. It was an experience. And when I got there, we were trying to plan out. They had this app that you could sit there and look up who you wanted to see and the schedule it was on and who might have been going to the same particular event that might have been going on. They had different workshops going on throughout the event. And it was really cool. I got to plan out my entire trip and who I wanted to go see and who was out there and all those fun things, and really figure out my strategy, so to speak, when it came to listening to who I wanted to see and watch who I wanted to see, and then able to post the story behind it and some of the content behind it. So it's pretty amazing. One of that really kind of parlays into one of the things we're going to talk about this week. Strategy. Is strategic thinking as important as it's always been to it? Obviously, to me, at the event, to being strategic was very, very important to plan out what I was going to do, to make the most use of my time, to be efficient with my time, but also to see everything that I wanted to see. Obviously, I was there to talk and meet with different people about potential sponsorships and guests with the podcast and all kinds of stuff, and just really network with some incredible people. I was able to record a friend of mine, one of the world's best water damage experts. So I'm going to go through some videotape of him, but I was able to record a session he did, which I think will come in very valuable to our guests that listen to this podcast at some point in time when we get everything done and put back together. But is strategic thinking, this little note that came to me, in fact, it came to me while I was on my way down to South Carolina last week, is strategic thinking that important today? Does it mean that much today in comparison to what it did? And actually, I think it's more important now than ever. Strategies change, just like business plans change. I say a business plan is a form of strategy because when you put a business plan together, you're doing your yearly, your long-term, maybe even monthly, it's possible. But you're doing usually your year, 5-year, 10-year, 7.5-year, whatever you want to call it. You're doing your planning, and that's a strategic planning event. To do it, you may work with your coach or consultant or work with a company or just plan it on your own. Whatever you happen to do that works for you, that's perfectly fine. But is strategic thinking that important today in comparison to the past, as I just said? It is, because things change much faster and technology changes a lot faster. Let's give you a primary example. In marketing changes quickly. Algorithms, when it comes to the internet, change a lot. You never quite know exactly where things are going to go. On a Monday, it could be one way. On Tuesday, it could be something different. Hell, halfway through Monday, it could change dramatically. So making sure that you're up on things and you're able to implement a change in your strategy or your form of your own business plan is important. Strategic thinking is a recipe for success. A lot of people are either really good at implementation or really good at strategic thinking. And my philosophy has always been you need to split that right down the middle. Implementation is very important. For instance, Sunday Morning Minutes. I do this every week. Obviously, last week I was driving, so if I would have done a crazy video that would have had poor quality, it probably wouldn't have made any difference. So I knew I had to write something, a blog, whatever that happens to be, but it had to happen. It's strategic to me that every Sunday this happens. I could do it on Monday. It's a regular work day. Sunday is really the only day I have to myself or to my family the entire week. I work 6 days a week, every week, and I tend to work, obviously, as you can see, on 7 days many, many times. But I know on Sunday, that's my day to plan, to put my strategy together. Whatever I'm going to do in my business and my business life for the future week, I organize it on Sunday. I look at things. For instance, I have some newsletters here. And I have to go through. I have 2 of them today because I didn't get the last one opened up in time. So I get the chance to go through these things and be strategic and put things together. But this is my day to plan for the week. I've got my cleaning and service cleaning business that has to operate and does pretty much systematically without issues for the most part. And of course, the consulting, coaching, and speaking business, which encompasses the podcast. I have to organize all these things in a certain order to make it done. If I'm not strategic about that, then things don't happen in an organized manner. Things will happen like guests will get forgotten about. Things won't get scheduled correctly. Return messages won't get taken care of as quickly as they should or as efficiently as they should. Being strategic with your thinking and taking the time to plan out what you're going to do and change things when they need changing is vitally, vitally important to your business. Vitally important to you personally as well. Be strategic with your thinking. Be a little less impulsive. It's not that it's not good to be implement-driven. It's extremely important. But without having that strategy first, if you implement something before you plan strategic, you're going to most likely fail unless you just happen to catch the right wave flowing on the ocean at that time, the proverbial ocean of business, so to speak. You have to take time to plan, to think about what you're going to do, to think about the best course of action you're going to do. Put it down on paper, put it down on your computer, hell, put it down on your notes on your iPhone, on your Android, whatever you have. Put it down. Do not think you're going to remember it. You won't. I like to pride myself in a decent memory and thinking about things and not having to worry about, I'm not going to forget about that. I know exactly what I'm doing. And it's just not the case because something changes a minute later and then you forget all about it. And you can't do that. So my advice to you is be strategic with your thinking, be strategic with what you're going to do, and take these actions that you've planned out in your strategy and implement them. Don't go necessarily for lofty goals in the beginning. Go for attainable goals in the beginning. Attainable is how you're going to achieve it and you're going to grow upon it. For instance, this podcast, I had to look at what's attainable to get done in a period of time. I'm a naturally impatient individual. Now, my wife is much more impatient than I will, and she will say that herself. But I like things, once I implement things, I plan my strategy, I want things to go off. And I am extremely good at being proactive and extremely poor at being reactive. So when things don't go as well as they should, even though I spent all the time to plan it, my strategy, be proactive. Not everything goes according to plan. And that's the hardest thing to follow through. And I have great mentors and people around me in my life, some of which who I drove with to Charleston to the experience that helped keep me in check. And, of course, my wife will always help keep me in check when it comes to that stuff. All right, guys, enjoy your week. And, again, think about what you're going to do, how to plan a quick strategy. I'm not talking necessarily long-term stuff. In this particular exercise, and for the answer that this particular person had for me, it was how often should you be strategic? And my one and one only answer is yes. That's it, guys. Have a great Sunday. I'll talk to you soon. We got some great podcast guests coming up. I'm back in the studio, as you can see. Got everything set up. Got a really nice TV over here so I can see a lot of stuff, and it's pretty awesome. All right. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a good day. Bye.